The number one thing that is going to impact your success in retirement is how much you want to spend. And I'm not just going to tell you that. I'm going to show you why and show you why most people get it wrong. Most people assume, yeah, I'm going to spend $6,000 a month in retirement or $10,000 a month. You're not. You're going to spend more when you have your energy and your health. Then it's going to come down. Then it's going to shoot back up when you go, wow, I have more money than I thought. Maybe I should do more giving. Maybe I should pay for all of our families to go on a trip because I see I have plenty and I don't want to just leave a few $1,000,000 at the end. So I'm going to show you how to think about expenses in retirement, and I hope this is helpful. Now, many of you will share, it's just hard to spend in retirement. I'm naturally a saver, and now you want me to just start spending money? That's so weird. And you want me to do it when I no longer have a paycheck coming in? That's because you're a human, not a robot. And I tell my clients, I don't want you to think of it like a light switch where, hey, now I need you to just flip a switch and all of a sudden you're a great spender. I want you to think about it like a dimmer. It takes time to get good at it. And obviously I don't want you to overspend and run out of retirement, but I also don't want you mad at me when you're 85 with $7 million going, Ari, what the heck? I told you I didn't want to die with this much money. Why didn't you tell me I should have spent more when I was in a fine spot to do so and reach all my goals? And I get very serious about this because I do have clients that have been upset with me, and that's how I learned my lesson, because they were. And all I was trying to do was protect them from running out of money. And it turns out I overprotected them in certain cases. So I learned from my mistakes and I share those with you. So if you enjoy this content, I invite you to subscribe. I talk about tax planning, estate planning, healthcare, withdrawal strategies, insurance. I love getting to do it. If you cannot tell, you're never going to see me make videos on best new credit cards or travel hacking or debt. Those are just not my specialties. So with that being said, my name is Ari. Once again, I'm a CFP, a certified financial planner. That's not why you should listen to me. 99% of CFPs that I have spoken to, I personally would not let manage my money. So by no means am I saying listen to me because I'm a CFP. I'm saying listen if it resonates with you, if the way I communicate, which is not for everyone. I do lots of jokes. I tell stories. Some people don't like that. Just give me the financial information. I'm probably not your best YouTuber to follow. There are plenty of others that do amazing work. You might prefer Ben Felix as an example. Ben Felix does amazing in-depth stock analyses. I don't put as much weight into that personally. I think most people feel they've got the investing down pretty good. Yes, could we optimize and make sure we have the right asset allocation? Sure. But it's the tax, it's the healthcare, it's the withdrawal strategy. That's where most of the value lies, in my opinion, which is why I make videos on it. Now I'm going to walk you through an example, but finally, I'm the Chief Growth Officer here at Root. Let's have some fun. So this is a case study. I went over this case recently in a video, but I'm now putting a completely different spin on it. So John here is 56, and he has a child who's 26, now on their own, but has decided to go back to school. So something he needs to plan for. Now, John has a traditional 401k. His 401k is $1.8 million. It's made up of a Vanguard Target Retirement Fund with $800K and Microsoft stock with $1 million. And then he has a brokerage account. The brokerage account is all Microsoft, $476,000. So obviously, John has some heavy Microsoft concentration. It's done well for him. So now he's in a position to retire early, but he's nervous because it's too much in one company. But John mainly is thinking about expenses. And I told him, I said, John, I'm not worried about your retirement. He goes, oh, great. I said, I'm worried about the first 5 years. He's like, well, then you just lied. I said, well, I'm kind of trying to have fun with it. But yes, in a sense, I did lie. Because from 65 to 95, I'm not worried. It's from 56 to 65 I'm worried because you told me you didn't love your job and that there could be a potential layoff. So in our original plan here, John, you're 56. You told me you're going to retire at 60. Sounds like it could be sooner. Is that right? He goes, yeah, that's right. I said, how much do you want to spend? He said, $10,000 a month after taxes adjusted for inflation, another 15 for vacations, 40K a year for long-term care, and he wants to buy new cars every 10 years for 60K. So why am I telling you this? Because I'm going to show you how to think about your expenses in retirement. And for John specifically, if we're looking at his plan, here's what it looks like. He has $2.5 million. You can see his assets are rising until he retires. Assets start to decrease. No Social Security. I don't know why that was hard for me to say, but Social Security. Maybe I need to go to a speech pathologist, but just for that one phrase, Social Security. And you can see it's decreasing until Social Security turns on for him at 70, and then it starts to increase. And now he's passing away at 100, which is what he wanted to plan for because he's very healthy and has long longevity in his family, for $2.7 million. But this is assuming, once again, everything goes according to plan. He spends $10,000 every single year. But didn't I just start the video by saying that's unrealistic? It is. So the retirement smile. This is saying, what if you spend more at the beginning of your retirement when you have energy and health, then less in your 70s to 80s, and then more from 80 on because now you have healthcare or travel or giving that you want to do. Probably not more travel because your health isn't there, but maybe a few big trips. So if you were to take this and just turn it on, which I'm not recommending everyone does, this is going to take an average of retirees. You can see for him, it doesn't make that big of a difference. There's a little bit more value. But what if John's like, you're right, Ari, I'm so scared, I'm going to get laid off. I want to plan on retiring at 58. Okay, so if that's John, you could still see he's okay. There's 2.2 million. By the way, I forgot to mention, John doesn't want to die with like $5 million. Okay, John would rather die with $500,000 and have his child inherit the home because John worked hard to get to where he is, so he doesn't want his child to get a handout. Okay, I call it handout, by the way. Any of you guys know? Put it in the comments if you know my lingo. I call it, and I got this from a mentor, so I stole it. I didn't create this. The Lucky Sperm and Egg Club. Oh, I just thought that was so funny when I heard it for the first time. So, yeah, maybe I get a little vulgar on these shows, but guys, just, Ari Danger Taublieb. That's my middle name. Okay, that's from another movie, I think. Anyways, so you can see here, guys, what we're not including here is, weddings. He wants to help out his child with a wedding. He wants to buy a new RV. He wants to remodel the home. That's extra stuff I'm not putting in here. So you can see here is what we're working with, 58. Now let's just pretend, because I'm going to show you the real value of this in a second. You can use this software, obviously. Pretend he goes, yeah, I want to help out my kid with a $30,000 wedding. Okay, let's turn that on. What does that do to the plan? Instead of $470,000 less, there's $584,000 less. Still 2.1 at the end. Okay, let's keep going. RV. I don't know how much a good new RV is, but I had a client spend $820,000. So sorry. Not 820,000, 82,000. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to assume he wants a really nice one for 100,000. What does that do to the plan? Oh yeah, there's less, certainly. Now we're at just about $2 million. Now let's say he does a home remodel. I don't know. Let's just say $128,000. I'm just picking random numbers. Because why am I doing this? Because any of you guys could say, well, this is kind of a waste of our time. I could enter data. I want you guys to see the impact of any decision, buying new cars, weddings. What is this telling him? This tells him now there'd be $1.5 million at the end. Well, once again, he doesn't want to die with millions, and $1.5 million and retiring at 58. Even if he did all these things, you can still see he's in a comfortable position. I mean, $1.5 million. Now, withdrawal rates is a separate story, which we'll talk about later. For now, though, he's got about 1.5, 1.6 million that hypothetically he would pass away with at age 100. So he might look at that and go, that doesn't bother me. But the $10,000 a month, he might go, well, Ari, I just assumed, and this is what I see a lot, so don't make this mistake. I just kind of put $10,000 a month, but that kind of actually includes some vacations, and that includes weddings and RVs, because I'm not really spending 10 a month. I'm spending more like 8. I just thought I should say 10 to cover everything. I go, don't cover everything, separate it. I want vacations separated. Why? Because we're planning on vacations for 10 years. That's all he wants to plan for. He doesn't want it for 30 years. So don't go put it for 30 years and be unnecessarily conservative. So if he's like, oh no, my real base is like 8,000 a month, but I want to do vacations and buy new cars and weddings, but those are some one-time things. If we switch that to 8,000 a month and he still retires at 58, you can see, guys, he's almost in the same spot he was before. So when people ask me, what's the number one impact of my retirement? What do I need to configure? Is it adding more to my 401k? Is it making sure I'm invested the right way? I go, all those things are important, but expenses are the number one thing that is going to drive when you can retire. So some of you might look at this today and go, wow, I need to go ahead and do some homework. I don't give you guys tons of homework, but I do ask if you are going to retire in the next few years or you're thinking about it, go plan it out separate. Some of you are like, new cars, 60,000, that's not enough. Okay, great. Go put it at 200,000. Like, I don't care. Do whatever is going to make it so you look forward to your retirement. And I think John has some dreaming to do because he told me, he goes, yeah, I'd like to help out with about 30,000. If I said, hey, John, would you like to do 50? He might go, yeah, I'd like to. RV is 100 enough. He might go, I'd like 120. So if we add on these different things, why do I recommend it? Well, because you get real confident. You can see, wow, there's still plenty of money. And if he got laid off at 58, he'd be okay. Now, what if he got laid off today? I'll do that. And people go, oh, don't show me because I'm going to be screwed. I don't want to not live. Guys, look at this. Yes, it's not the happiest scenario. I don't believe in just showing you, rosy pictures. There'd be $1 million left over, but he would be okay. And that's all you all want. You guys tell me, I just want to be okay in retirement. So $1 million left over is not the dream for him. In fact, he, once again, doesn't want to pass away with anywhere near that, but he also doesn't want to cut it close. So if he retired at 56, it wouldn't be rosy to the degree that he'd want. I might ask him to spend less in certain years when markets don't do well. But if he does work till 60, well, all of a sudden, look at this. Guys, he'd be in a better spot than before. Why? Because he's determined his expenses are really $8,000 a month. And then these are all one-time or 10-year things, not every single year things. So, of course, what I'm not including today is he saves more or inheritance or part-time income. You guys can go play around with all of that. And I hope this gets real clear for your retirement so that you can actually retire going, wow, I'm confident. I did think through everything without that little thing in the back of your head going, is there something I'm missing? And I try to make it really easy for you. So if you go to your goals section, you can see I have it all listed here. Healthcare, education, pre-college, college, cars, vacations, weddings. Are you going to move? Are you going to downsize? Do you want to buy a business? Do you want to do some big giving, legacy, other goals? Go put it all in here, and then you can really get clear on your retirement. Now, if you just want to play with the tool, you can see it's in the description. If you want to work with Root because you want us to help with organizing everything you see up here, retirement, insurance, education, taxes, estate, investing, this is what we love doing so that you don't have a full-time job in retirement having to do it. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.